Trae Young got traded. Okay, I need to not do that. I'm not making any cuts or editing in this video. This is like literally my snap reaction to Trae Young getting traded, because this news is coming flat off the press, hot off the press. Shams bomb. Trae Young's getting traded to the Washington Wizards. Now, let's unpack this. Sorry for the manic start to this video, but this literally just happened. This literally just slid across my desk. Trae Young is in Washington, and CJ McCollum and Corey Kispert are in Atlanta, which is a weird trade. You don't really see trades like this for big superstars where there are no draft picks, no really young players, because Corey Kispert was like a 4-year at Gonzaga. You don't really see trades like this that often, but to be honest, like having thought about it for more than 30 seconds, I actually think this makes total sense. I'm going to turn off this Clippers game. The Clippers have now lost this basketball game. This is actually kind of a very interesting and I think good trade for both sides. And it's disappointing to see Trae Young end up on the Washington Wizards in January when I thought this team was going to be the 3 seed this year. After all the shit he's been through, he's been to an Eastern Conference Finals with the Hawks. There's been many, many iterations of co-stars next to Trae Young. They finally got the best one in Jalen Johnson, and that's when they pull the plug. And honestly, I understand the reasons for the Hawks to do this. I understand the reasons for the Wizards to do this. I understand the value because, to be honest, like we can look at this package and say that the Hawks like objectively didn't get neither dick nor balls for Trae Young. They got a good, albeit old, starting caliber point guard, shooting guard, combo guard in CJ McCollum, and they got like a good catch and shoot 3-point shooter in Corey Kispert. I'm curious to see what he looks like on a team that's trying to win more than 5 games, but like he's still not like moving the earth. And the reason they got like neither dick nor balls for him is because Trae Young is an expiring contract and he wants to go to Washington probably to get out of there, and this gives him the best opportunity to really show out for the next however many months and try to get a big contract with another team potentially. Or because Washington doesn't really have like a young point guard, they've got young guards, I guess. Keyshawn George, Trey Johnson, 2 players who I'm a huge fan of, especially Trey Johnson. I love his game. Like those aren't really point guards though. And I guess you could maybe center this nucleus around Trae Young if you wanted to, but I think Trey's a little bit old for this, weirdly enough. Like he's a little bit out of Washington's prerogative or like perspective, I guess is the word I'm looking for. The Wizards are probably looking for younger players to really center this nucleus around. If they want a big-time point guard, if they want a big-time guard, they're probably just going to go get Darren Peterson in the draft if they're lucky enough to do so. I don't really think they want to prioritize suddenly flipping this whole thing around and being like the Trae Young team. That seems extremely risky, and the Wizards never really had that in mind. They've kind of got the opportunity to get him basically for free right now because, I mean, he's really just at worst like a lateral movement from CJ McCollum, and Corey Kispert was kind of like on his way out with this team, I guess, anyway. Like, you sacrifice one, like, decent role player. Like, that's not really a big deal. And Trae Young will help you win games right now. He will establish, not a culture per se, but, like, the Wizards are horrendous. They are disgusting and unwatchable right now. They need to be more than unwatchable if they've got this young team that's been in the dumps for like 5 years at this point. And so I think for the Wizards, I think this is a fine move. I don't really know if it's really a move that I think in the long term is really going to benefit them all that much. I mean, it's good. They have a guy who puts asses in seats right now and who's very talented, and they got him for pennies on the dollar. I just don't really think they have any ambitions. Well, obviously, they probably have ambitions of keeping him. Let's see if A.J. Debonce can do anything in these 2 minutes that BYU... Oh, okay, halftime. I think the Wizards do have ambitions of keeping Trae Young, but, like, to be honest, I don't think he has any ambitions of building something in Washington. Maybe he does. He said this was his preferred destination, which is kind of weird. But, I mean, we did see this coming a mile away. Like, we've known about this Washington thing for a week. It is kind of wild that it transpired immediately. No Risashe in the deal. No, like, Koulibaly or any interesting young players from the Wizards. And, I mean, I guess this just means that Trae Young is going to be, like, forging his own path at this point. And, You know, honestly, it's not really that remarkable of a trade. It seems like a remarkable trade at first. I've kind of talked about it more from Washington's perspective and how Trae Young does give them like a primary playmaker, which they were kind of missing. He gives them like a really, really good like floor general. But like, I mean, Trae Young is, even though he's one of the elite offensive players in the NBA, there's too many elite offensive players for you to be a liability on defense. And I cannot defend this guy anymore as long as he's gonna be a cone on that end of the ball. So, like, yes, Trae Young, very, very, very good player. But I think, like, in a weird way, the NBA has kind of moved on from him. Like, he is just not really as playable as, like, the other elite guards in the East. Tyrese Maxey and Jalen Brunson are not amazing defensive players, but I have never been of the opinion that Jalen Brunson is, like, a cone. And he's also, like, a better, less heliocentric player than Trae Young, who you can kind of use in more ways. And same goes for Tyrese Maxey, who's just an offensive dynamo. And is also, like, he, again, not a great defensive player by any means, but, like, he's not Trae Young. And Trae Young has tried, and he's tried to become more of an off-ball player, but, like, it's just not really happening. And I think the Hawks are kind of getting ahead of this at the right time. I think they've given this experiment enough of a test. Jalen Johnson is now clearly the best player on the team. It's really not even close. And, like, I mean, I think this is a very smart move for Atlanta. In terms of what they got back, like, could they have gotten more? Like, honestly, probably yes, but also, like, from who? Like taking who? Like on some real Kamaru Usman shit. Like, taking what from who? Taking what from who? Because, like, what were the real Trae Young suitors other than Washington? If we just go down all the teams in the NBA that could have traded for him, like, I mean, to be honest, like, the suitors were really not great. Detroit, absolutely not. Boston, absolutely not. New York, absolutely not. Toronto, yeah, you maybe. Philadelphia, no. Cleveland, probably not. Orlando, okay, yeah, Orlando, I'll give you that, but I don't think Orlando was going to give up. Anthony Black is, like, a probably better asset at this point than Trae Young, like, to be completely honest. So, like, the point still remains that the Hawks were not going to get that much for this guy. Like, he is, of all the offensive one-note guards in the NBA, the heliocentric ball-handling guards in the NBA, he is the one who is the most liable to being ass at any given time. There's so many liabilities in Trae Young's game that just aren't really present in the same way in, like, Jalen Brunson or Tyrese Maxey's game, to go back to them again. And so, I think this is an okay-ish return for the Hawks. I mean, I think Corey Kispert is a great fit there. They kind of need more floor spacing, if anything. CJ McCollum is a game manager, which is nice to have. The Hawks can actually make a playoff push now, I think. Because Trae Young wasn't playing, like, really. He's been hurt for most of this season. And when he has played, he's been bad. And so, I think this is going to be fine for Atlanta in the short term and will actually benefit them. They're going to have to figure out this backcourt in the long term. This is a very, very weird Hawks team. A bunch of good players who just don't really fit together. They're kind of like the Raptors in that way. They've got a bunch of wings who don't really shoot, and then they've got these guards who aren't really point guards. And now the one true point guard that they have is, he's gone. So they're going to have to figure out the point guard thing in the long term. They're going to have to figure out, just, the complexion of the roster and, like how to orient it around Jalen Johnson, who's quickly becoming a superstar. But fortunately, they have New Orleans draft pick this year, so they might get Darren Peterson before the Wizards do, which would be fucking hilarious. And so I guess in terms of grades for this trade, I'll give the Hawks like a B-. Like, this seems fine, I guess. I mean, it's kind of disappointing that they didn't get any draft capital for him, so I guess I'll give him like a C+. Like, what? Like, am I supposed to be blown away by this? This is like a C+, but, like, I mean, Trae Young is a player whose value is just absolutely careened off a building recently. And if you're going to trade him now, and it looks like they were going to trade him now, that was the arrangements between Trae Young and his manager and the Hawks brass, then, I mean, you weren't going to get much more than this. So, I mean, I can't really give it more than a C+, because it's not great, but, you know, it's probably the best they were going to do. And for Washington, I'll give them like a B. Like, this is good. This is good for the short term. Probably a bit of a nothing burger in the long term. I don't know if getting off of CJ McCollum's money is relevant at all. I haven't actually read this Shams Instagram post, I don't think there's anything in here. I think he's like, yeah, he's literally just yapping about the team. So I like that Shams is actually putting in his 2 cents. Shams is actually trying to get in his bag about giving a take here, which is nice. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me. This is crazy. This is boots on the ground NBA journalism. Trae Young, Washington. CJ McCollum, Atlanta. Holy shit. Like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.